Firstly, everyone, I want to recognize from the traditional territory of the Sinixt First Nation, who welcomed the first colonists over 160 years ago, just as I'm delighted to welcome all of you here tonight. This won't be my most polished performance because I was provided with the information, no criticism intended, about the distinguished members of the group that's going to appear before you shortly a few minutes ago. But there are some things I do want to mention before we get to introducing them. Firstly, many thanks to the sponsors, in particular the TD Bank, the title sponsor of the festival that has been with it since the beginning. Also Creative BC, the City of Nanaimo, and Bancroft University. Port of Nanaimo, the Port Theatre, with whom the festival enjoys a community partnership. Tourism Nanaimo, Tourism Bancroft, pardon me, Helijet. I've done photography, you know Dirk, everybody does. Nanaimo Hospitality Association, the Best Western Dorchester Hotel, BC Ferries, Country Grocer, Budget Long and McQuaid, Arbutus RV. Volunteers, boy, membership, 250 strong, folks. That's how this thing got put together. All of these volunteers. Tonight you're going to hear from the Charles Mingus Dynasty Quintet. We've got 89 BC musicians performing this weekend. Our board and Toro Marketing and you are our great audience. A thank you. Now let me tell you a little bit about Charles Mingus. His music was amazing. His compositions amongst the most personal and varied in music that sweep across country, gathering in their wake the sounds of Dixieland, bebop rather, Latin rhythms, swing, romantic ballads, West Coast jazz. It is a rich history. He was a virtuoso bass player, pianist, band leader, and composer. He was also an author, formed his own recording and publishing companies. His masterwork, Epitaph, which Mingus said he wrote for his tombstone, premiered after his death in New York City in 1989. It comprises more than 400 measures and over 2 hours to perform. It was produced by Sue Mingus, his widow, with Pulitzer Prize winner Arthur Schiller and Nanaimo's own Andrew Homsey. The Mingus dynasty was the first legacy ensemble formed by Sue. These Grammy Award-winning musicians perform all over the world. They transform a musical legacy into a modern creative force. They're each esteemed artists, composers, and band leaders at the top of their field. Wayne Escoffrey, tenor saxophonist and an expressive and original soloist and the winner of the Downbeat Critics Poll. He's a professor at Yale Mute School of Music. We've all heard of Yale, haven't we? Isn't that one of those small American colleges, right? An alumnus of the Thelonious Monk Institute. Outside of the Mingus dynasty, he is associated with Tom Harrell and the Black Arts Jazz Collective. Tatum Greenblatt, trumpeter, versatile, creative musician, named by Wynton Marsalis, guy I think we'd all heard of, as, quote, an up-and-coming player. He's also a regular with jazz at the Lincoln Center and has performed with Richard Bonin, Blood, Sweat and Tears, and Maria Schneider Orchestra. Donald Edwards, drummer, is a foundational driving force in modern jazz. He has worked with Freddie Hubbard, Mark Whitfield, Branford Marsalis, Dave Holland, and many others. David Kikowski, pianist, is a dynamic and seasoned performer. His impressive resume includes appearances with Roy Haynes, Randy Brecker, Jeff Kane Watts, and Christian McBride. And finally, Andy McKee, bassist, has a storied career and a heartbeat, swingy approach. A professor at the New York School of Jazz, he has shared the stage with legends such as Hank Mobley, Slide Hampton, Philly Joe Jones, Chet Baker, and Elvin Jones. I want to thank all of you for coming out tonight or making a donation to the festival. And the reason I want to do that is because something that's really important that some of you may not know is that of the 11 events that are happening this weekend in Nanaimo, that drawing people from all over the world in some respects, 7 of them are free to the public. 7 of them are free to the public. Round of applause for yourselves, because for those of you who purchased tickets for the weekend's performances, you're assisting in spreading the value of creative music and jazz throughout our community. And this is where I get to say something slightly personal. I've read a lot of history, Anyone remember what I said last year at the opening? Good. I read a lot of history, and to my recollection, I never read of a civilization that collapsed because it had too much arts and culture.
Right on.
Magnificent performance hall tonight that was created by the drive and willingness of people in Nanaimo to raise money because they understood the importance of the creative arts. I think it's just a wonderful occasion to welcome a group that is so successful and so internationally known. And in honor of the fact that they're Americans, and because public education wasn't wasted on me, as I welcome the Charles Mingus Dynasty Quintet, I want to quote you a little Longfellow. I'm getting to be an old white guy myself, so it doesn't hurt to quote a dead old white guy, does it? And the night shall be filled with music, and the cares that infest the day shall fold their tents like the Arabs and as silently steal away. So friends, as you sit back tonight and enjoy these wonderful performers who've come from our friends to the south, please give them a warm Nanaimo welcome and a thank you for performing here in this wonderful venue. Thank you.